inside the nucleus there is a semi-fluid, homogeneous, semi-fluid, transparent, homogeneous semi-fluid transparent material present inside the nuclear membrane is nothing but called as a nucleoplasm. What is it called? Nucleoplasm. So it's a particular type of material, homogeneous semi-fluid transparent material. Okay. So it is inside the nuclear membrane, which is consisting of a nucleoplasm composed of a chromatin. What is this? Chromatin and nucleolus. So these are the two particular type of contents that are there inside the nucleoplasm. And apart from this, nucleoplasm also contains a different type of enzymes. Enzymes involved in case of DNA replication, RNA replication, RNA synthesis, proteins like histones, basic proteins, non-histone proteins, acidic, some minerals like calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. Minerals like most prevalent so these are all present inside the nuclear membrane, that is in the form of a nucleoplasm. So this nucleoplasm is also called as karyolymph. What is it called? A karyolymph. What is it called? A karyolymph. Okay. So inside this, what are different type of materials are associated? That is chromatin, network of nucleic material. Along with it, RNA, DNA. దాంతో పాటు DNA, RNA ఉన్నాయి. దాంతో పాటు ఇంకేమున్నాయని చెప్పాము, enzymes involved in case of replication of DNA. DNA duplicates within the nucleus. Okay, now a different type of RNAs are synthesized within the nucleus. RNA, I told you, RNA is synthesized within the nucleus. And DNA polymerases, RNA polymerases, all the particular type of enzymes are present inside the nucleus, that is in the nucleoplasm. Okay. So what is the material that what we observe is nothing but main material is a chromatin. So chromatin చెప్పామని నిన్న chromatin గురించి ఎరా చెప్పలేదుగా. So this is a nucleoplasm. This is all the nucleoplasm that is there inside this particular type of what is it? Semi-fluid like homogeneous transparent material. అర్థమవుతా? Transparent material having all these contents. This is having all these contents. What contents are chromatin and nucleolus. In addition to that, what is observed? Enzymes involved in case of different type of vital activities like DNA replication, RNA replication, RNA synthesis. Okay, different type of RNAs, rRNA, mRNA, tRNA, all are synthesized within the nucleus. This question is frequently asked. Name the location of the different type of RNAs synthesis. That is inside the nucleus and within the nucleoplasm. Okay, now. So the location of DNA polymerase and RNA polymerase, if you are asked, that is nothing but inside the nucleus or within nucleus that particular type of synthesis occurs. This is what you are supposed to know. Okay, and this karyoplasm is also sharing the contents from so karyoplasm and nucleoplasm. So outside is what? Outside is cytoplasm. So contents have been exchanged between karyoplasm and cytoplasm. That is the particular type of thing regarding what nucleoplasm. Is it okay? Nucleolus. spherical non-membranous structure the nucleoplasm. So the content of, today this is important, the content of nucleolus continues with nucleoplasm as it is not surrounded by membrane. The reason, that is what I am telling you. So this is the nucleus. Such a spherical material which is present inside the nucleoplasm, which is a non-membrane bound structure, is nothing but called as what? A nucleolus. What I told you is the content of nucleolus continues within the cytoplasm, within the nucleoplasm, as it is not been surrounded by nuclear membrane. Is it clear? Is it clear? Shall I repeat it once? Soon. So suppose the nucleolus is like this and a membrane bound. It would have been surrounded by a membrane. Nothing will come out of this. Everything will be remain inside this particular type of membrane. Okay. As it is not non-membrane bound structure, spherical structure, the contents of the nucleolus may be continued in the cytoplasm as it is no boundary. Okay. As it is no boundary, just like a rope, you twined it and kept in a cover, it cannot come out. You keep normally. So when it is loosened, then it is spreading like that. Likewise, the content of a nucleolus will continue in the nucleoplasm as it is not being surrounded by membrane. It is not a membrane bound structure, so that the content of a nucleolus will be continued in the nucleoplasm. That's what we observe. This nucleolus, also called, I told you, nucleolus is also called as a plasmosome. And this nucleolus is mainly made up of main part of rRNA synthesis. rRNA synthesis, mainly involved in rRNA synthesis, protein synthesis, that is ribosomal synthesis. It is mainly composed of rRNA and protein. rRNA and protein is the main composition of this. Trace of DNA is present, but mainly composed with the rRNA, ribosomal RNA, and proteins are associated with the structure of this particular, the composition of a nucleolus. Generally 1%. Normally it is generally 1 per cell. You could see this nucleolus. Plural of a nucleolus is called as nucleoli. This is a plural form. Okay. Nucleoli means nothing but a number of nucleolus. So in case of actively active protein synthesizing cells, their number would be more. So if you observe more number of nucleolus in a nucleus, then how could it indicates? It indicates that is present in a cell where it is actively involved in protein synthesis. Do you understand? So suppose this is a cell, it is a particular cell, it is involved in active protein synthesis. So the number of nucleolus number will be more. Normal cells will have only one particular nucleolus. So the number is increased in cells where the protein synthesis is actively doing or working or occurring. So that is what we call it as a number of nucleoli increases in cells where protein synthesis is very active, or the cells those requires high number of proteins. In those cells, what is a more? The number of nucleoli will be more. Normally they are present in one per the cell, but the number can be raised whenever the cell is actively involved in protein synthesis. That's the thing that you need to know. Okay. So this is the center. What I told you, this is the center for main particular type of function of this one is what a main function of this is nothing but what a rRNA synthesis and also involved in ribosomal synthesis. rRNA synthesis and ribosomal synthesis, the main particular type of functions of what a nucleolus. So nucleolus disappear during late prophase. I told you in case of that water nuclear membrane. Likewise, it also disappears along with the nuclear membrane during late prophase and reappears during telophase of cell division. Telophase of cell division. Okay. So it disappears during late prophase because the chromosomes need to be released into the cytoplasm. Nuclear membrane, what happens in case of late prophase, nuclear membrane, this disappears. Nuclear membrane also disappears. Chromosomes are released into the cytoplasm. So then the cell division starts, karyokinesis starts. So karyokinesis occurs in the cytoplasm after the removal of a nuclear membrane. Chromosomes are released into the cytoplasm where spindle apparatus forms and they splits the chromosomes and makes the doubling of the chromosomes. Then again nuclear membrane follows, then followed by cytokinesis and making one cell into two cells. You got it? So chromosomes are present in the nucleus. Once the nuclear membrane is dissolved, then chromosomes are released into cytoplasm. Next, spindle apparatus forms. Spindle apparatus will form. These spindle apparatus are attached to the chromosomes. You know that. Okay. So these are the chromosomes which are normally having two chromatids. Each chromosome is having how many chromatids? Two chromatids. Spindle apparatus coming from opposite poles will splits the chromosome and one chromosome will become two chromosomes. Then what will happen? Again chromosomes are present here. This is surrounded by nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane reappear during telophase after the cell division is over and karyokinesis is over. Okay now. So along with the nuclear membrane, nucleolus also disappears during late prophase and thus reappears during telophase. That is another important. Along with this mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies also will disappear. I told you regarding those particular type of. Okay now, as nuclear membrane is going off, automatically endoplasmic reticulum will go off because it is the extension of outer nuclear membrane. Do you understand? Nuclear membrane, nucleus disappear out. Nuclear membrane disappear avutundi. This is nuclear membrane. Okay na? This is extension of endoplasmic reticulum. Avuna? ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది ఇది డిసపియర్ అవుతుంది ఇది డిసపియర్ అవుతే దీంతో పాటు ఉన్న స్ట్రక్చర్స్ మొత్తము కూడా డిసపియర్ అవుతున్నాయి అర్థమవుతుందా దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ టోల్డ్ ఓకే ఏమిరా స్వరూప ఏ రూపారా ఇది రే చంటి వింటున్నావా చక్కగా చిక్కగా వినాలా విన్నావా ఎవడైనా పోతే వాడికి రా. సో ఏంటంటే ఇది చూడండి, ఇంజెక్షన్ నీడిల్ ఇంజెక్షన్ 50 ml డైరెక్ట్ మనం చేయటం ఒకటి గుచ్చటం ఒకటి రెండు ఉన్నాయి. చేయటం జనరల్ గా మామూలుగా చేస్తూ ఉంటాం మన చేతులు, కొన్నిటికి ఇట్లా కొడతా ఉంటాం తెలుసా. బయటికి రా, నిజంగా మొత్తంలో ఉన్నావా? అరే మాణిక్యవతి సరిగ్గా చెప్పరా. ఇప్పుడు ఎప్పుడన్నా గేదెలకి మనం ఇంజక్షన్ చేయాలంటే డాక్టర్లు ఏం చేస్తారు, ఇట్లా కొడతారా మెల్లగా, ఎల్లమ్మ అంటే వెళ్ళదు, అది వంగిది. ఎందుకంటే తోలు అంటే కొట్టామనుకో చక్కగా వెళ్ళిపోద్ది, పని ఒకసారి జరిగిపోద్ది ఎరా. సో జాగ్రత్తగా వినాలి, పాఠం వినపోతే 50, 20, 30 అక్కడ మీ యొక్క స్థాయిని బట్టి చోటే ఛాన్స్. మనకి ఎక్కడ కూర్చుంటే ఎముక తగలదు, మళ్ళీ వాసిపోతుంది కదా. సో ఇక్కడ మంచి ఫ్లష్ రెడీగా ఉంది కాబట్టి ఏమవుతుంది, కూర్చున్నా ఇబ్బంది లేదు, అంతే కదా. నిజమా కాదా? సరే, నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చెప్తున్నావురా. సో దట్ ఈస్ రిగార్డింగ్ న్యూక్లియోప్లాజమ్. నెక్స్ట్ న్యూక్లియోలస్ is the functions of nucleolus I told you, and nucleolus is produced from only one particular type of sentence you need to note. Nucleolus is produced from nucleolar organizer chromosome. Nucleolus produced from nucleolar organizer chromosome. If at all you require, you write, otherwise you need. So you see, in case of this is the secondary construction, you know that. Secondary construction paina satellite. This is called as satellite, you know. This is secondary construction in case of chromosome. Here you can find a particular type of material, that is what you can see. This is nucleolar organizer regions. This NOR, nucleolar organizer regions. These are the sites for the production of nucleolus. Chromosomes with nucleolar organizer regions will form nucleolus. Okay. అమరేంద్ర మహోబలి ఉన్నావా? సో ఏం చెప్తున్నాము ఇక్కడ, నెక్స్ట్ chromatin. What is this? Chromatin. Chromatin is a network of nucleoproteins. So chromatin does contains what? Proteins, majorly proteins, then DNA and RNA along with the histones and non-histones. Chromatin is composed of mainly what are proteins. These proteins may be histone or non-histone. Histones are what are basic proteins, non-histones are acidic proteins. Okay, so these are the proteins. Along with proteins, what is their next major is the DNA. Next RNA, traces of RNA is also present. Okay now, so that is the composition of water. Chromatin. Chromatin is a network of nucleoproteins, that what you are. So normally when you see nucleus, generally nucleic material is in the form of water, chromatin, not not in the form of chromosomes. When you see a normal cell, when you observe the nucleus, inside the nucleus, you can see the network of chromatin or network of nucleoproteins in the form of chromatin, not in the form of chromosomes. Nucleic material is in the form of a network. That is what we call it as chromatin. It is not in the form of chromosomes in case of normal cells. When the cells are going on dividing, in case of M phase, particularly M phase, not interphase, M phase, cell division has how many phases? Cell division is categorized into two phases. One is called as interphase. In case of interphase, the nucleus appears like this, means having only chromatin. In case of M phase is the phase what you call it as a division phase. In case of M phase is only, you can see chromosomes. So, in case of interphase, genetic material is in the form of chromatin. But in case of M phase, they are condensed into short, stout, or rod-like structures. That is called as chromosomes. So simply, if you are asked to define chromosomes simply, chromosomes are nothing but condensed chromatin. Condensed chromatin molecules are nothing but called as chromosomes. Chromosomes generally, chromatin, I show you the chromatin here. Chromatin is like this. This is all the chromatin that is distributed inside the nucleus. Okay, this is all that. During cell division, what happens? Spiralization becomes very close. Now this appears as chromosome. Do you understand? This is what we call as condensation. What condensation of what? Chromatin. Chromatin is normally appears in this loose coiling will be there. That goes for more spiralization, so that every particular type of chromatin threads are come closure, and they become sharp and stout and clearly visible. But in case of interphase, what happens? It is thread-like network. Loose coiling is there, spread throughout the nucleoplasm, so that they are not clear. You cannot identify the chromosomes in case of interphase. During division phase, what happens? They go for more spiralization. దారం ఎలా ఉంది, ఇలా చూడుతున్నాం, దగ్గరకు వస్తుంది, డార్క్ గా కనిపిస్తుంది, క్లియర్ గా కనిపిస్తుంది. Likewise, what happens? This is what during cell division, chromatin condensed into short, stout, rod-like structures such as this. Now you name this as a chromosome. This is because of condensation. Condensation of what? Chromatin. So that is nothing but spiralization. Condensation is nothing but spiralization. More coilings are observed. Spring తీసుకున్నాం రా, స్ప్రింగ్ మామూలుగా ఉంది వైర్ మామూలుగా ఇలా కాయ చేసాము, షాక్ అబ్జర్వర్ చూస్తాం కదా, కాయిల్స్ ఉంటాయి, దూరంగా పెట్టాము, ఎలా ఉంది, సన్నగా కనిపిస్తాం. కాయిలింగ్ చేసాం, బాగా గట్టిగా, షార్ట్ గా, స్టౌట్ గా, కానీ క్లియర్ గా కనిపిస్తాం. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ క్రోమోజోమ్. అర్థమవుతుందా? క్రోమాటిన్ గెట్ కండెన్స్డ్ ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ క్రోమోజోమ్స్ డ్యూరింగ్ M phase of cell division. So these chromosomes are nothing but what? The genetic material. They carry the genetic material. They carry the genetic material. అర్థమవుతుందా? What is carrying the genetic material? Chromosomes are carrying the genetic material. So that chromosomes are generally called as మళ్ళీ పట్టుకోవాలా? లేదా కదా, నాకు దీని మీద కమాండ్ లేకపోయేసరికి తేడా వస్తుందా? అడుగునేంత లేదు, తొక్కి అవతలేస్తాను కానీ పక్కన తీసుకెళ్తా హెచ్చు జరిగిన ఆటో కట్ అంటారు. ఆటో కట్ తోక వచ్చినప్పుడల్లా ఆటోమేటిక్ కట్ అయిపోతాం. ఆటో కట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఒకటే ఉంటుంది మన దగ్గర. భరతగాడు హెచ్ చేసాడు అనుకో, మెల్లగా బెలూన్ కి సన్నగా ఒక చిన్న సూట్ అన్నా ఏమంత కారుతా ఉంటుంది అనమాట, సైజ్ తగ్గుతా ఉంటుంది. అంతే కదా, అంతే కదరా. నీళ్ళ బంతి అని చిన్నప్పుడు ఆడుకోవడానికి కొట్టేవాళ్ళు, గుర్తుందా మీకు? కిరణాలు అమ్ముతా ఉంటారు, ఐడియా ఉందంటారా? ఒక బెలూన్ లో వాటర్ నింపేసి ఒక రబ్బర్ కట్టేసి ఇట్లా కొడతా ఉంటాం, అది వెనక్కి ముందుకు వస్తాం. సూది పెట్టామంటే ఏమవుతుంది, సన్నగా దారి వస్తాం, వాల్యూమ్ ఏమవుతా ఉంటుందిరా, తగ్గుతూ ఉంటుంది. అంతే కదరా, సరి కూర్చోదు. ఓకేనా, అర్థమవుతుందా? ఎరా ఏం పేరు చెప్పావు? లీలా కదా, అరే లీలా వినరా. క్రోమోజోమ్స్ అంటే ఏం చెప్పాలి మనం? Chromosomes are what? Chromo means what? Color. Some body. Chromosomes are meaning and color bodies. Color bodies inside nucleus. So these are called as vehicles. Vehicles of heredity. Chromosomes are called as vehicles of heredity. It was Waldeyer who named them. Chromosomes were named by the man called as Waldeyer. Okay now. So when you see a human cell has how many chromosomes? 46 chromosomes. When you 46 chromosomes, all your genetic information is present in a 46 chromosomes. Right? So when you unwind the DNA that is there in case of your cells, it is approximately 2 meters, more than 2 meters. So much more than 2 meters. One cell will have a length of the DNA up to 2 meters, 2.2 meters, frankly speaking, and around 2 meters length will be there. And this Leela is made up of trillions of cells. You see how much depth is there in case of Leela and Lola. In Leela, inside the Leela, what Leela ఎంత ఉందో చూడండి. అంటే ఎంత ఉంది, ఒక్కొక్కటే ఒక సెల్ లోనే 2 meters అంత డిఎన్ఏ ఉంది. సో వాడిలో ట్రిలియన్స్ ఆఫ్ సెల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. వాడి యొక్క డిఎన్ఏని వాడు కూడా తీసుకొని ఒకదాని తర్వాత ఒకటి యాడ్ చేసాడు అనుకో. సో యాడ్ చేసే ముందు పైన సూర్యుడిని టచ్ చేసి రావచ్చు, మాడిపోకుండా. అర్థమవుతుందంటారా? సో అంత లెంగ్త్ ఉంది, అంత డెప్త్ ఉంది లీలాలో అని చెప్తున్నాను. లీలాలోనే సోలాలో ఉంది, మాలాలో ఉంది, గోలాలో ఉంది, అందరిలో ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఇంక్లూడింగ్ పాఠం చెప్పేటువంటి ఈ లీలా కూడా అంతే లెంగ్త్ ఉంది. అంటే దట్ ఈస్ ద పర్టికులర్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డిఎన్ఏ. యూ జస్ట్ ఇమాజిన్, యూ కెనాట్ సీ ద సెల్. The cell which you cannot see will contain the DNA of a length of 2.2 meters. You just imagine, that is the mystery one cannot expect. 2.2 meter length of the DNA genetic material is arranged in a cell which we cannot see by naked eye. You just imagine that. That is some mysterious power is there. You have to accept it. You name whatever it may be. You name whatever the particular type of person. I don't mind, but some power is there. Era unda leda? నీ దగ్గర సంగతి కాదు నేను అడుగుతుంది. నీ దగ్గర ఉందా లేదా అనేది తర్వాత భవిష్యత్తులో డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. అది కాదు నేను చెప్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా పైన పవర్ ఉందా లేదా అని అడుగుతున్నాను నేను. అర్థమవుతుందా? సరే, ఎనీహౌ హౌ మచ్ లెంగ్త్ అంతే చెప్పాము. లెంగ్త్ ఈస్ అరౌండ్ 2.2 meters. That is the one particular type of, in case of human cell, that is the number of chromosomes are 46. Okay. So these are the particular type of, normally when you stain the particular type of chromatin, when you apply dye to the chromatin, when you stain the chromatin. So this is the chromatin. What is there inside the inside the nucleus? Okay. Some part of the chromatin is stained darkly and some part of the chromatin is stained lightly when dye is applied. When dye is added, what happens? The chromatin should take, actually it should take water, the dye even with this form. But instead it's not taken the dye evenly. Some part of the particular type of area, the chromatin is taken a lot of dye and many dye. Much dye is taken in some areas, and some areas the dye is lightly trapped. The dye that has been trapped in huge content, that is called as heterochromatin. 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 What is heterochromatin? So when you stain the chromatin, some part of the chromatin will take more dye. So that is what we call it as darkly stained. What is it? Darkly stained. Heterochromatin is the darkly stained region. Next, this is called as euchromatin. Lightly stained. Darkly stained and lightly stained. Okay. So darkly stained, it is has a more coil. More coiling. Okay now. Less coiling. And this chromatin and euchromatin is having less coiling, and that is having more coiling. Next, it is genetically active. It is genetically inactive. Okay. So that is heterochromatin. This one is euchromatin, and the stain is not taken evenly by the chromatin. Stain is not taken evenly by the chromatin. In some areas it is stained dark, and in some areas it is stained light. And in case of a darkly stained region, it has more coiling. Coils are more. And here it is genetically inactive. Euchromatin is lightly stained, less coiling, and genetically active. Reason told. In case of heterochromatin, the coiling will be like this. These are the heterochromatin regions. Okay. In case of euchromatin, the coiling will be like this. So that ikkadiki meer observation చూస్తే ఏది డార్క్ కనిపిస్తుంది మనకి this one అంటే more coiling, so they all very close together, seems to be more dye has been trapped there. That's why they does look in the form of they look dark in that area because of more coil. Here the number of coils are less, so that it is light, seems to be lightly stained. అర్థమవుతుందంటే more coils ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి dye ఎక్కువ తీసుకున్నారు, ఎక్కువ కనిపిస్తుంది, తీసుకోవడం కాదు, ఎక్కువ కనిపిస్తుంది. ఇదంతా థ్రెడ్ అంతా ఒకటే డై అయింది. సో ఇక్కడ రెండు కాయిల్స్ ఇలా కనబడుతుంది, ఇంకొక చోట ఇలా కాయిలింగ్ కనిపించింది, ఇదే ఇలా కాయిల్ అయింది, ఇంకో చోట ఇలా కాయిల్ అయింది. ఇక్కడ మనకి డార్క్ కనిపిస్తా ఉంది, ఎక్కువ డై ఉన్నట్టు కనిపిస్తా ఉంది, ఇక్కడ లైట్ గా ఉన్నట్టు కనిపిస్తా ఉంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఓన్లీ డిఫరెన్స్ వాట్ వి హావ్ సీన్. So one is called as euchromatin, other one is called as heterochromatin. What is genetically active chromatin? Euchromatin. Genetically inactive chromatin is heterochromatin. What is what has more coiling? Heterochromatin. Less coiling is observed. Lightly stained is also euchromatin. That is regarding chromatin. Now we go to the chromosomes. Okay now. So when you take a chromosome, already we have given chromosome meaning. Chromosome and color bodies inside the nucleus are called as the chromosomes. Stout rod-like structures that are present during cell division. There is nothing but condensed chromatin. So chromosomes are essentially having so it is non-stainable structure which is called as what? Centromere or primary constriction. So centromere is nothing but also called as primary constriction. So each chromosome is essentially having a spherical structure, that is spherical non-stainable unstained structure. When you stain the particular type of chromosome, that spherical body is not taking the dye. Do you understand? That's why it is called as non-stainable. కలరేసాం ఇదంతా క్రోమోజోమ్. ఇక్కడ ఏముంది సెంట్రోమేర్ ఉంది, ఇది కలర్ తీసుకోదు అంటే కలర్లెస్ గా ఉంటుంది, రిమైనింగ్ మొత్తం కలర్ తీసుకుంటుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? దట్స్ వై వి హావ్ రిటెన్ యాజ్ అ నాన్ స్టైనబుల్. ఓకేనా? సో క్రోమోజోమ్ essentially having a spherical non-stainable structure called centromere or primary construction. Primary construction, the other name of the centromere. Okay. So this is centromere. This centromere is surrounded by disc-like structures called kinetopores. Centromere is surrounded by this called kinetopores. What are these called as kinetopores? Spindle fibers attached to this structure during cell division. Spindle apparatus is formed now, so that the centromere, centromere is a spherical, unstainable, essential part of a chromosome, generally present at the center or little away from the center or something like that, to which what are attached? Chromatids are attached. Chromatids are connected to centromere. So next, the centromere is covered by disc-like structures which are called as kinetopores. So these kinetopores are the sites for the attachment of spindle fibers from polar regions during cell division. Cell division జరిగేటప్పుడు chromosome కి spindle fibers వచ్చి ఎక్కడ అటాచ్ అవుతాయి? at the site of kinetopores. Okay now. So next, so these are the particular of each chromosome has one or two chromatids. One or two chromatids. How? You see, in case of this is one chromosome with single chromatid. There are chromosome with single chromatid, chromosome with the two chromatids. In case of late anaphase, telophase, late anaphase, telophase, and G1 of interphase. Each chromosome has how many chromatids? One chromatid. Late anaphase, telophase, and G1 phase, each chromosome has one chromatid. So here, S phase, G2, prophase, metaphase. Then the M phase, this interphase. Each chromosome is having how many chromatids? Two chromatids. Each chromosome is having two chromatids. You see. Sorry, in case of cell division, we told you G1 phase 2C content of DNA, S phase it becomes a 4C double. So this is the DNA molecule. One chromatid is equal to one DNA molecule. That is in G1. In case of S phase, what happens? It goes for duplication and becomes two DNA molecules. One DNA molecule is one chromatid. So two DNA molecules are two chromatids. There are someone okay? So DNA duplication occurs during S phase ra. So one chromatid will become two chromatids. This will persist up to metaphase and early anaphase also. But in case of late anaphase, what happens? It splits and becomes two chromosomes. Now each chromosome will be having one chromatid. You got this or not? Any confusion? So after splitting of centromere, both the particular type of chromatids get separated during what phase? Anaphase. So that the chromosome, such type of structures too are formed. So that each is considered as a chromosome, each is having one chromatid, starting from the anaphase and will be continued into telophase and up to G1. Again, in S phase, it becomes double. Again, anaphase, it becomes splits. Again, one chromosome. That is the cycle. Cell cycle will be continued in such a way. Do you understand? So, one chromosome, one chromatid is equal to one DNA molecule. One chromatid is equal to one DNA molecule. And you need to know one thing, Rari, vinali. So, this entire structure is a chromatid. This mottam chromatid. Not this part is called chromatid. This is not the chromatid. Entire chromatid. And a longitudinal half of a chromosome is called as a chromatid. And this entire structure is one chromatid. This entire structure is one chromatid. Do you understand? So that is the one. So that is regarding particular type of centromere kinetochores వరకు ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఇది తీసేస్తున్నాను నేను. ఇది అడిషనల్ పార్ట్ మీకు కావాలనుకున్నప్పుడు రాసుకోవాల్సినటువంటి విషయం అది. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో నాన్ స్టైనబుల్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ డిఎన్ఏ క్రోమోజోమ్ ఇప్పుడు వరకు మనం చెప్పింది ఏంటి? సెంట్రోమియర్. నాన్ స్టైన్డ్ పార్ట్ centromere. Okay now, kinetochores are the discs that are surrounding the centromere. Kinetochores are what? Are discs that surrounds the centromere. Is it clear? Okay. Now we go further. This is na. Can. డౌట్ ఏదన్నా అడగాలి. అద్దురాజులా కూర్చోకూడదు. అర్థమవుతుందా? మైదా బంధువులు తిని మైదా రాజులా కూర్చోకూడదు. డౌట్లు అడగాలి. చెప్పండి. No, not each chromosome. All 46 chromosomes కలిసి సెల్ లో ఉన్న క్రోమోజోమ్లు అన్ని కలిసి 2.2 meters. Not a single chromosome. Total diploid content ra 2n I2. 2n is the particular type of condition we observe. And what is n? Haploid set of chromosomes is called as n. What is it called? What is the name of haploid set of chromosomes? Chapra Ashwanta. What is the name of a haploid set of chromosomes? Xeno. Haploid set of chromosomes is called as xeno. So in each cell of Ashwant, how many genomes are there? How many genomes are there? Amarendra Chappa. Pura Shuma. Varatga. Or Chanti. పక్కనాడు బండి ఏం పేరు? ఏమని చెప్పు. బబ్బులు రెండు ఉంటాయి. సస్పెన్స్ చెప్పరా. 2 genomes ఉంటాయి. 23 is one set. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. 23 chromosomes is one set and remaining 23 is another set. This is maternal and this one is paternal. Maternal means X chromosome. Maternal నుంచి mother గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. M గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. రెండోది తెలిసిపోతుంది కదా మనకి. Maternal starts with M, that is mother, from mother side. Paternal అంటే father side నుంచి వచ్చేది. Father set ఒకటి, mother set ఒకటి. ఈ రెండు కలిసి మనం డిప్లాయిడ్ సెట్ అంటాం. అర్థమవుతుందా? 2n. ఓకే. మైజ్ లో ఎన్ని జీనోమ్స్ ఉంటాయి? మైజ్ లో ఎన్ని జీనోమ్స్ ఉంటాయి రా? ఎనీ plant low, general plant cells, so angiospermic plants, because that is a sporophyte. Generally, any plant cell is containing two genomes. One genome may have different number of chromosomes depending upon the species. One lot 23 untai chromosomes. So the maize lo తీసుకుంటే 10 ఉంటాయి, because 2n is 20, n is equal to 10. And one genome will have 10 chromosomes, another genome has 10 chromosomes, together 20 chromosomes. Diploid cells లో 20 ఉంటాయి, haploid అయితే gametes లో 10 ఉంటాయి. స్వరూప్ గారు gametes ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేశాడు అనుకో, వాడి gametes లో ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి? 23 ఉంటాయి. సో ఏదైనా పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నప్పుడు ఆమె కూడా గ్యామెట్ ఇచ్చింది అనుకో, ఎక్సెల్ దాంట్లో ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి? 23 ఉంటాయి. ఎక్సెల్ ప్లస్ గ్యామెట్ ఫ్యూజ్ అయితే అగైన్ 46 వస్తాయి. అలా కాకుండా ఇటు ఆవేశపడి 46 ఇచ్చేసాడు అనుకో గ్యామెట్స్, ఆమె కూడా ఆవేశపడి 46 ఇచ్చేసింది. సో టోటల్ జైగోట్లు ఎన్ని వస్తాయి? 92. అంటే 2 more sets extra వచ్చాయి. So you know the complications, even one chromosome becomes extra or one chromosome becomes reduced or less. So lot of complication you might have seen. So if complete 2 sets extra వస్తే వీడి పిల్లోడు ఎంత హైట్ పెరుగుతాడో తెలుసు, ఏవేవి పొడవుగా అవుతాయో మనకు తెలియదు, ఏవేవి తగ్గిపోతాయో మనకు తెలియదు. You cannot predict the particular type of changes in that particular register. So that's why. So chromosomal constant number of chromosomes in sexually reproducing organisms are maintained because of meiosis. Meiosis లేదనుకో, వీడు 46 చేశాడు, వీడి పిల్లోడు మళ్ళీ దాన్ని డబల్ చేస్తాడు, వాడి పిల్లోడు ఇంకా డబల్ చేస్తాడు, అంటే క్రోమోజోమ్ ని విచ్చలవిడిగా పెంచుతూ వెళ్తా ఉంటారు అనమాట. సో ఏమి లేకపోతే మియోసిస్ లేకపోతే, అంతే కదా. కాన్స్టాంట్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ క్రోమోజోమ్ పర్టికులర్లీ ఇన్ సెక్షువల్లీ రిప్రొడ్యూసింగ్ ఆర్గానిజం ఇస్ ఎ గిఫ్ట్, ఈస్ ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ మియోసిస్. అర్థమవుతుందంటారా? అది సరే. సో జీనోమ్ అంటే అది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. సరే తీసుకున్నాను, ఓకేనా సార్? So in some chromosomes, there is another construction beyond primary construction, that is called a secondary construction. Some another construction would be there. That construction is nothing but called as a secondary construction. This is secondary construction. This one primary construction. What is this? Chromatography. Okay now. So strangely, secondary construction is also non-strained region, unstrained. అది కూడా తీసుకోవట్లేదు. సరే, ఇప్పుడు స్వరూప్ గారు నేను అడిగాను, అరే క్రోమోజోమ్ ఉంది, అన్స్టైన్డ్ రీజియన్స్ 2 ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇఫ్ యూర్ ఆస్క్డ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై విచ్ ఈస్ ద primary construction and which is the secondary construction, how could you identify it? You cannot say some always middle, because some submetacentric, telocentric and acrocentric. So location you cannot define or you cannot construct. Next, kinetochores is one point, and one more point you need to know: chromosome bends only at centromere. Chromosome never bends at secondary construction. To identify Burla characters and they not based on staining, because both remains unstained. So centromere is surrounded by kinetochore. That is one of the distinguished feature word. Second is chromosome bends at a centromere, not at secondary construction. Only primary construction the chromosome bends. These are the 2 distinguished features to identify centromere from secondary construction or primary construction from a secondary construction. Okay, so this is secondary construction. The structure beyond secondary construction is called as a knob-like structure called a satellite. What is it called as? A satellite. Satellite. Chromosomes with satellite are called as sat chromosomes. What are they called as? A sat chromosomes. Next, in case of eukaryotic chromosomes, there is a special structure in the endings which is called as telomere. What are these? Telomers. Telomers gives polarity to the chromosome. Polarity. And this is the end of the chromosome. Telomers indicates that this is the end of the chromosome. And due to the presence of telomere, it is the chromosome, this is the telomere. Okay. Both ends of the chromosome never fused because of the presence of telomeres. So that always the eukaryotic main chromosomes are not circular, never circular. Those that are lacking the telomeres can be circular form, make circular DNA. That what we have seen in case of prokaryotes or monerians. They lack telomeres. Telomeres are present in case of a eukaryotic DNA, particularly the main chromosomes, which are not fused. Mari, when a break appears here, it can be fused or not. It can be fused, but ends are not fused. That is due to the presence of telomere. So that determines the polarity. What it determines the polarity. And what is the end of the chromosome? End telomere. This is fuse out. So that circular formation is not observed in eukaryotes because of the presence of telomeres. Okay, now. Next, based on the position of centromere, based on the position of centromere, then monocentric. Monocentric means chromosome having one centromere. So first one is a metacentric. Centromere is at the center of the chromosome and having equal size of arms. What shape you can see them? V shape. You see, this is the centromere. So this is the shape body observed. So how many both arms are in a equal size? So that gives a V shape because centromere is located at the center. So that is centromere. What centric? That is called as a metacentric. So next, second one is submetacentric. So what type of shape is observed? L shape. And a centromere moves towards this. Okay, now, and away from the center. Not located at the center. If it would have been located at the center, it would have been called as a metacentric. So this is the center. This is center, and half is this. And almost at 75% of the length, you could see the centromere. And one arm is 75% length, and another arm is 25% length. That is what we call it as a one long arm and one short arm. That is what we call it as a what shape is observed? L shape. That L shape is nothing but what are the submetacentric type of a chromosome. Next type of centromere chromosome is called as acrocentric. So very long and very short arms are produced as centromere is almost near to the terminal part of the chromatoid. That means what you see? What shape? J shape. A shape lo unnadi J shape. So chud. This is the centromere. This is very short arm. This is the long arm. J shape long. Okay now. That is what we call it as a acrocentric. Next one is called as a telocentric. So these are the four types. Just see. Based on the location of centromere, chromosomes have been categorized into how many types? Four types. The first one is called a metacentric. So in metacentric type of chromosome, then what will happen? The centromere is located at the center of the chromosome and producing two equal arms. That shape is called as V shape. Okay, that's metacentric. In submetacentric, so what happens? The centromere is located away from the center. So producing two different arms. One is long arm and other one is short arm. That is called as submetacentric. In case of another condition, the centromere is almost near to that of the terminal part, producing very short and very long arms. It resembles a J shape. And the telocentric, so the centromere is located at the end of one particular type of end of the chromatin. So that is chromosome. That is what we call it as a telocentric. Telo ante last అని అర్థం కదా. Telophase అంటే last phase. Last of the particular type of chromosome, you could see the centromere. So ఇక్కడ దీంట్లో ఉన్నాయి arms are equal. Arms are equal. Arms are what are unequal. Arms are unequal. There is no second arm. When a chromosome is a this is na Raja last one. When a chromosome is having equal arms, that's okay. When chromosome is having no arms, that is also okay. When chromosome is having, sure. This is what a submetacentric. This is what a acrocentric. This is called as long arm, isn't it? This one is a short arm. Same. So chromosomes can be, which of the type of chromosomes will have long arms and short arms? Submetacentric, acrocentric. Which of the following chromosomes will have a long and short arms? Submetacentric and acrocentric. Because telocentric there is no second arm. In case of metacentric, both arms are equal, no long and no short. Okay now. So this is called as a Q arm. What is it called as? Q arm. This is called as P arm. Okay. Short arm is called as P arm. Long arm of the particular chromosome is called as a Q arm. PQ arms are present in. This is the same question many times asked. PQ arms of chromosomes are seen in. Seen in అంటే submetacentric, acrocentric. You can see this. Not seen meta and telo. Because there is equal arms here, here there is no second arm. Long arm is called as P arm. Long arm is called as Q arm. Short arm is called as P arm. P and Q arms are seen in what type of chromosomes means submetacentric, acrocentric. Not in case of telocentric and metacentric. Because in case of metacentric, both arms are equal size. No short, no long. In case of telocentric, there is no second arm. So that in these two, no PQ arms are observed. PQ arms are observed only in a submetacentric and acrocentric. This is the most important point. Okay now. Okay, Nandra. Okay. Next, microbodies. Small, spherical, membrane-bound structures. Small, spherical, membrane-bound structures in eukaryotic cells, which are filled with certain type of enzymes. We are also filled with certain enzymes. These are called as microbodies, and so can be clearly observed, seen through EM, electron microscope, because their size may be around 0.5 micrometers to 1.5 micrometers. This is almost a size of bacterial cell, which cannot be seen by detailed structures are not seen by through normal light microscope, and electron microscope only will give the full details of this. So in case of microbodies, there are two types. One is called as first are peroxisomes. What are these? Peroxisomes. So these particular type of peroxisomes are also loaded with certain enzymes, oxidases, peroxidases. Oxidases and peroxidases are there in case of the peroxisomes, present in plant cells, mostly animal cells, particularly animal cells, liver cells, kidney cells. In case of liver and kidney cells, okay now. So these peroxisomes are particularly in liver cells. In liver cells, they are involved in a detoxification. So they are involved in case of detoxification. Detoxification. Detoxifying particularly alcohol consumers. Nearly 50% of the alcohol that is consumed is detoxified by the peroxisome, enzymes of peroxisomes in what cells? Liver cells. But the most important aspect is so toxic hydrogen peroxide produced as a result of metabolism is broken into water and oxygen by catalysis of peroxisome. Peroxisome లో ఏముంటుంది? Catalyze ఎంజైమ్ ఉంటుంది. Hydrogen peroxide produce అవుతుందిరా. H2O2 is produced during metabolism. రాసుకోవద్దు, వినండి, తర్వాత రాసుకుందాం. So hydrogen peroxide is produced during metabolic activities in the cell. This hydrogen peroxide, when it is left like that, that becomes very toxic to the cells. Even cell death is possible. So that this hydrogen peroxide must be broken into water and oxygen. So water and oxygen, that is by the enzyme called as a catalase. So what is bearing this enzyme? Peroxisome is bearing this particular enzyme which breaks the hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen, so that it detoxifies the toxic effect of the hydrogen peroxide in the body. That is the role of peroxisomes. Peroxisomes are mainly involved in detoxifying the particular type of body. Why? The enzymes they have, they detoxify that. Particularly liver cells, alcohol can be detoxified by the particular peroxisomes of liver cells particularly. Okay, next thing peroxisomes are also involved in photorespiration. That's where may go. In case of photorespiration, three cell organelles are involved. One is chloroplast, peroxisomes, mitochondria. Three are involved. One among such type of organelle is called as a peroxisome. Okay, now. So, peroxisomes are microbodies, means small spherical single membrane bound enzyme loaded vesicle like structures. Okay. So they are present in plants as well as in animals. Particularly in case of animals, liver and kidney cells will have more number of peroxisomes. So they are having oxidases, peroxidase enzymes. So many enzymes are present in that. They are mainly involved in case of detoxification. Okay, now. So alcohol, when we consume alcohol, then what happens? 50% of the alcohol consumed is detoxified by the peroxisomes that are there in the livers. Liver lone maximum detoxification. But in case of water, the toxic effect is produced by the hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is a metabolic product of metabolism. The product of metabolism. That is accumulation of hydrogen peroxide is toxic to the cells. So that must no longer will remain as such. So it needs to be broken into detoxified. The detoxification is catalyzed by the enzyme called as catalase produced by the peroxisome. So detoxifies the effect of hydrogen peroxide by peroxisomes. Okay, now.